What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got multiple things going on here for you guys in this video. Let's jump right in. First of all, there's a new thing that could save millions of people money starting today. We'll start with this. Check this out. Lower cost hearing aids go on sale today. Major U.S. retailers will begin selling lower-cost hearing aids without a prescription or medical exam under final Biden U.S. administration rules that take effect today. The FDA in August approved the sale of over-the-counter hearing aids, allowing millions of Americans to buy hearing aids without seeing an audiologist and potentially saving individuals thousands of dollars. The rules apply to people for hearing aids for people with mild to moderate hearing loss, and they will be available to buy directly from stores or online without medical exams, without a prescription, or an audiologist fitting adjustment. And the White House said that they would begin offering the lower priced hearing aids, including from Walgreens and Walmart, starting today. CVS will start selling lower cost hearing aids online Monday and in some stores in November. So I'm not entirely sure if their website's updated, but I just went to CVS and Googled CVS low cost hearing aids, and they got them starting at $199, $299, $799, and $999. Some even from Bose, which is a really good brand. Another brand here, Go Prime and Go Light. It does look like these are brand new on the website because some of these have 0 reviews, and 2 reviews. Even the Bose ones, which, Bose is a really good brand. So, again, these may have just gone on sale today, starting at $199, which for hearing aids, again, I don't know the normal cost of hearing aids, but I know that some of them can be thousands and thousands of dollars. So look into that. Share this video with your friends or family that might need to know about this. Also, the Biden administration finalized an Obamacare family glitch fix. So apparently they finalized a rule they said would fix the so-called family glitch in the Affordable Care Act that priced many people out of health insurance and would help over 1 million Americans. The fix, first proposed by the U.S. Treasury and the IRS in April, addresses an element of healthcare law that left family members of those with access to employer-provided health plans ineligible for certain subsidies. Now, the Treasury Department is finalizing that fix so that the law works the way Congress intended and the cost of coverage comes down for families all over the country. Starting next month, Americans can sign up to take advantage of this change. So if that's you or any friends or family members, share this video with them so that they can get this information. About 1 million Americans will either gain coverage or see their insurance become more affordable as a result of the new rule. You could probably apply at healthcare.gov and see what the cost will be, but it said as of next month. The open enrollment period for health insurance plans under the Affordable Care Act starts on November 1st. And a lot of people can get health care for free, sometimes depending on your income, or very low cost for low income and middle income Americans who do not have access to health care. There's a growing, I don't even know how to say this, but there's a growing drama over whether former President Donald Trump is going to testify, as he's been subpoenaed to testify. And people were saying he has to. Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger says that Trump is, quote, required by law to testify before the January 6th committee. This is a Republican congressman. He says, quote, he can ramble and push back all he wants. And I've seen some comments of people saying he doesn't have to testify. He doesn't have to testify. This is what a Republican congressman, Adam Kinzinger from Illinois, is saying. Also, note that other presidents have been subpoenaed and had to testify before. I will show you. These former presidents testified before Congress in the past, and there have been several. So this is not unprecedented. Here's the details. Actually, I have an interview here from a legal analyst that kind of gives an insight here to Trump's and his legal team. Take a look at this. This will kind of give you some insight here. Take a look.
So a couple of things, Jake, because he doesn't tend to process these kinds of legal actions the way other people might, working backwards. The revelations by the committee, most of his folks are sloughing them off because they're trying to say these are old news, and it's not surprising. In terms of the subpoena for him, that is actually one of the things that has animated him. He's been talking to advisors about how, he would consider testifying if they would air it live, which is also not surprising. It seems hard to imagine the committee would go for that. What he is very focused on right now is the other investigations that could lead to criminal charges. And that is still where much of his energy is focused. And for whatever reason, he is very focused on this lawsuit that's coming up next week where he has to be deposed, where he's being sued for defamation by E. Jean Carroll, a woman who has accused him of rape. The developments around January 6th, he considers those baked in. Everybody else does not, but he does.
That's interesting. Do you think his lawyers would let him testify live? I mean, I can't imagine that. I mean, it might feel good for him, but I can't imagine that making him look sane, rational, reasonable. I don't see any scenario in which he ends up looking good there.
I think that it would be, I also don't see a scenario where he doesn't potentially get himself into a fraud situation when he's testifying under oath. And I think it would depend on which lawyers he is listening to, Jake. He has different lawyers in different cases, and he seeks them out for different things, and they are not always on the same page.
Well, right, that's the thing, because he would be under oath. Often when he testifies under oath, he just ends up saying, I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall, because he's being told by lawyers that he has to do that. But I don't think he would do that before the committee. I just can't imagine any attorney, although I don't know how he's picking his attorneys these days. It doesn't seem like he's exactly going to the Harvard Law Review. So do you think, I mean, among these lesser attorneys who are giving him advice these days, do you think somebody would actually tell him, go ahead, do that, that's going to be great?
At least one of his lawyers was sounding people out about the idea today of him testifying and agreeing to it as long as the committee would let him do it live. And so I certainly don't think they're all shutting him down. I do think that there are people who would be concerned about it for the same reason that his lawyers, when he was being investigated by Robert Mueller, the special counsel, were concerned about him meeting with Mueller and testifying, which Trump wanted to, and they did not want him to for the reasons you just said.
Today, testimony from Cassidy Hutchinson was played that gets specifically to Trump's mindset. Let's run some of that.
So he had said something to the effect of, I don't want people to know we lost, Mark. This is embarrassing. Figure it out. We need to figure it out. I don't want people to know that we lost.
So that was about the Supreme Court refusing to hear some of the crazy lawsuits that were being filed on his behalf.
Okay, so I'll come back to this. I don't have that part of the interview here, but 7 former presidents have come forward to testify in American history, 2 of them by subpoena. John Tyler became the first former president to appear before Congress. Tyler was subpoenaed in connection with an investigation into the use of public funds by his Secretary of State. Teddy Roosevelt testified before a congressional committee in August 1911. He appeared before a House panel investigating the United States Steel Corporation as the federal government raised antitrust concern. Roosevelt was a prominent backer of efforts to break up monopolies. Statist indicated Roosevelt was not subpoenaed, but rather obliged after the committee advised the former chief executive his testimony would be appreciated. Years later, William Howard Taft testified before Congress 12 times following his presidency, according to Senate historical official records. Harry Truman and Gerald Ford later became the two most recent former presidents to testify before Congress. Truman in 1955 appeared before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to discuss the United Nations Charter, and Ford appeared before a subcommittee in the Senate Judiciary Committee near the bicentennial of the Constitution. Also, former President Richard Nixon, who ended up resigning, was actually subpoenaed twice by Congress, both in relation to the Watergate scandal. The Senate panel probed the Watergate break-in subpoena by Nixon. So they subpoenaed him twice in 1974 for tapes and records on more than one occasion. And though he declined, the court ultimately rejected an effort by the committee to enforce one of the subpoenas, but the House Judiciary Committee, which was also investigating the burglary that ended up costing Nixon his career. So the question here is, will former President Donald Trump actually testify? Remember, in the most recent place where he testified here, he actually pled the Fifth Amendment over 400 times. You could see the headline right here. So he didn't actually testify. He pled the Fifth over 400 times, nearly 450 times. So the question is, will he actually testify? You can let me know your thoughts on this. And this came after Trump previously that people who pled the Fifth Amendment was, quote, disgraceful. He also, these are exact quotes from former President Donald Trump. He also said that if you plead the Fifth Amendment, it means you're guilty. So again, that's what former President Donald Trump said before he pled the Fifth. You can let me know your thoughts on this. And then he also said, you can see the headline here, Trump says he changed his mind about taking the Fifth Amendment, which he once said was for mobsters, for the mob. He said back in 2016, if you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? So, honestly, I don't think he's going to testify. Just because I think there's just I don't think it's a good legal strategy, to be honest. I think it's I mean, we've seen with Marjorie Taylor Greene when she went to testify here, basically her whole testimony was, I don't remember, I don't recall, I don't remember, I don't recall. Really, because it's they can't implicate you for anything. There's just yeah, I mean, it's just that's what lawyers advise nowadays. So you can let me know your thoughts on this. But and he also, remember, his last testimony, he pled the Fifth 400 times. So yeah. So whether or not we're going to see him testify, I mean, you can let me know your thoughts on this. But his last testimony, he didn't testify because he pled the Fifth. So what do you think is going to happen? The other question here is, are they going to indict him on charges here after the election? The election is now in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen before the election. That would be a huge scandal. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I mean, it could. But I think that would be not couth. I don't think that would be but I think that there's a lot of people that think that they're going to try to indict him on some charges. Do you think they're going to do that? Do you think they're going to? I mean, because there's several different things here going on. So we got the Mar-a-Lago FBI things, and then we got the January 6th incident as well. So let me know your thoughts here. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. And we'll see. We'll see. We're also going to have the midterm elections coming on here in the next about 3 weeks. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I will keep you up to date here with everything you need to know about here on a daily basis. Make sure to subscribe, and you can click here to watch my newest video about a $1,400 to $2,000 stimulus check. So click on that video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.